first, trying to start a band and projects and stuff like that, I used to be that cat that, I had to do everything. I got to do everything. I gotta make every decision. I got to do, blah, blah. And then it got to a point to where it's like, man, are you doing that? But you're not going nowhere. Like if you're doing it by yourself, you yourself can only do so much, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it's like a cheat code is like, okay, how about you just hire everybody that's better than you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like in a certain sense, it's like I look at it like a football team. You have your head coach, right? A good football team, your defensive coordinator should be better than the head coach at defensive coordinator. Your special team should be better at the head coach. Your offensive coordinator should be better than the head coach at offensive coordinator. But the head coach is the better facilitator, right? So when it comes to certain things, so like I said, I got people on my team, like especially in Funk Your Feelings, who I feel who are better than me in their particular field. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got somebody like a Bo Dove, who is one of my top 3 songwriters in Dallas. You have somebody like Patrick Stuckey, who I tell people all the time, he plays like a grown man version of me. You know what I'm saying? He plays like an adult. He played grown man drums. You know what I'm saying? And it's
so
like you were doing this conversation was going so good.
I was doing good.
Yeah, you were doing good.
Man, when you said that, I was like, well, so does that mean you're childish or sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, my bad, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? You have somebody like a Mike Pugh, who I think he may be like, especially when it comes to like handling a crowd, he might be a little bit more mature than me when it comes to certain situations. But then there's also situations where I think I do what's needed. I say what's needed, and I think might be like, yeah, I'm glad you said that. but and and just his overall knowledge in the craft and in the music and stuff like that. He'll tell you I've said this publicly. If I get a gig, I'm calling him first. You know what I'm saying? I call him first. Yo, can you do it? And then on top of that, kind of going back to the earlier conversation, he's always going to say, "Oh, well, let me see what Gina talking about." Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let me see what we got at the crib first.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk about harmony.
But yeah, and I seek counsel. I ask him for his advice. Hey man, how do I handle this situation? Because I can handle it the way I want to handle it. The way I want to handle it is easy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I got to call my co-captain. I got to talk to the co-captain. So yeah, fortunately enough for me, man, I'm dealing with some solid cats, man, who really helped me push the thing forward. So
I got a question. He kept calling you co-captain, and I've always wanted to ask you this, Mike. Did he ask you to be his co-captain? Was it like... I'm serious.
I actually did.
I'm serious. Like, was it like...
It's funny, but some people would automatically put something on some people. You're like, I didn't know I was a part of the band, but okay.
Like no, I'm serious. Like, did he say, "Will you be my co-captain?"
Nah,
it definitely wasn't that.
It was.
Try to say that was literal.
That's a soap opera version.
Would you be my co-captain?
But nah.